Yo, yo, yo. Excuse me. What's up, everyone? Good day, Nightbot. Nightbot's been in every stream, so I can't believe it took me this long to give Nightbot a shout out. What's up, Delansky? What's up, Cindy? How's it going, Art Nerd? What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? It is Thursday, and I'm gonna try to keep working on album stuff today. I was drawing some inspiration before the stream from some fellow producers. I don't know if any of you guys are fans of Enzo, but man, what a talented producer. I feel like Enzo and Cohen Sound should collaborate on a track at some point. I feel like that would be a pretty killer combo. What if we did a poll? I might be down later. I think at the moment I was kind of in the middle of continuing to work on Wisdom, or, well, as it's called now, Euphoria. Wisdom is already out. This is what I get for not just sticking to songs and just finishing them. But yeah, actually, also, random side note, but I started using the tag functionality in Ableton a bit more, because well, at first I was only going to use it for like live drum samples, to try to kind of like those jazz loops and those kind of things where it's like like more acoustic live sounding drum samples to use, and find them quickly. But I started using it for other stuff too. Like, it's great for reference tracks. You can add like a genre to your reference tracks and say like, oh, okay, I'm making something that's kind of, let's say, like future bassy. Like, let me find my reference tracks for future bass and I'll throw them in. So it's pretty cool. But I've only just started. So what's up, Noxel? How's it going? What's up, already? What's up, Darius? All right, well, let's just check in on where things are at currently. I changed a few things, hopefully for the better. Some stuff I removed, small things, just because still figuring out what to do for the pre-drop section. But I did make some improvements, I think, on the track. So a few things are sounding a little different, but I think I managed to get the transients and the drop drums to sound a little better. I added some some gentler drums in the verse, which I actually ended up liking a lot. Kind of like these R&B-esque drums that are very gentle, and I feel like that added a lot to kind of the drive the momentum a little bit more forward, versus not having any drums. So I feel like there's some small improvements there, some more ambiance in the intro as well. I think let's see. There are a few other things right off the bat that I know I need to address, so I'm gonna try to get to these one by one. So I need to kind of EQ this pluck sound here. And we need I was kind of picturing some little mini fills in between those hits. So there's like a so we'll find some stuff for that. Tell me about Baby. Man, Baby's been on one lately. He's been very needy, a needy cat. You feed him and he still just walks around screaming. Well, not screaming, it's an exaggeration. But he's very melodramatic. Like he'll walk around and just after trying to pet him, he walks away. You feed him and he walks away, and then he just goes meow, 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 and he's very like woe is me. And then you just gotta kind of let him get it out, and then for some reason after doing that for a while, then he just comes and sits next to you and relaxes. But like, I don't know, it makes me feel like I'm not doing something right as a cat dad. But I've learned that with him specifically, he just likes complaining, I think, or maybe he just likes the attention. Maybe he just likes to get on my nerves. I'm not sure, but I think it's a pretty normal thing for cats to do that, even when they are very happy. My other two cats, or our other two cats, don't do that at all. They're very content. They'll do other random stuff. Bill likes to jump up on the kitchen counter and lick the avocado oil. We have this, instead of olive oil, we use avocado oil, and she'll jump up there at nighttime. We bust her doing this all the time. And you know, we try to yell at her and like, or well, not yell at her, but you know, like shout like, don't do that. And it kind of prevents her from doing it when we're around, but obviously when we're asleep, like they do whatever they want. So who knows what they're doing down there, but I mean, they all have their quirks, and I think it's hilarious and cute. And but yeah, baby's next level. Matisse, what's up? Yo, Haywyre, I'm your fan and just found out you're streaming your production process. Crazy. Would you mind helping me out with one of your production lyrics? I'm not entirely sure what your question is, but if you mean like clarifying the lyrics for one of my songs or something like that, I could absolutely do that. So let me know what you mean. What are the cat names? So there's Baby, Link, and Bill. Those are the three kitties. There used to be 4, but how old is Baby? He is, I think he's like 4 now. Could be teenage angst. Yeah, I mean, it's strange because, you know, these days, I'm home technically like close to 24/7. I mean, I work from home. I get outside here and there. So, but even though I'm around a lot, like I'm in my studio all the time, and my fiance is gone constantly. She works 2 jobs and is in school. So, you know, maybe it's more of a like, why aren't you with me more often? Meow, like that kind of a thing. But it's funny because he waits to do it until we're actually there. We're like, hey, let's hang out. And then he walks around and starts complaining then versus like, you'd think he'd do it when he wants the attention to bring some pets and love his way. But anyways, Baby Come Back. Any kind of fool could see. It's a classic. It's a classic. But yeah, I think I'll keep my eye out for a follow-up question from Matisse because I think he was asking something about lyrics. But anyways, so let's see. I was gonna try to add a little bit of flanger. I think I called it flanger for a solid like decade until I found that. I'm pretty sure it's flanger, but either way, let's get a macro going here. It's not the greatest vocal chop, but let's try to work with it. So let's get the flanger going around here. I think maybe let's turn off the echo here for now. I still don't know what I want to do. I kind of got rid of the repeats there. I'm not sure. Just wasn't feeling it. Maybe we could add a little comb action. See how that sounds. Okay. All right, let's use this to low pass it a bit. Huh, wait. Okay, that's the right. All right. Oh, also, another thing I was thinking about doing was there's this tutorial that I started watching for generating synthetic cymbal sounds from scratch, which sounded really interesting. And I think I may have mentioned it briefly that there was like a, I think an AU5 TikTok where he was talking about it. And I heard some of the demos and I was like, wow, this is by far the most convincing reverse engineering of a cymbal I've ever heard. So I kind of started it briefly yesterday and I kind of ran out of time, so I didn't get that far into it. But I might pull that up later this stream. We'll see. But I was really impressed by that. Let's see. Let's find some snares and toms to play with. I'm trying to remember it was on a fairly lesser known YouTube channel. It wasn't a tutorial by AU5 himself, but I'll find it and I'll link it to y'all. You can check it out as well if you want. Can we hear the sounds you made? What do you mean? Let's see. I'm going to add some of these random little sounds here so we can add some more fills in this area. Let's see, let's go like this. Let's add this one. And this one. You made sounds based on that tutorial? No, not quite yet. I see what you're saying. No, I didn't quite get to it. I've tried to make cymbals from scratch myself, and I've gotten some decent results with hi-hats by just kind of like heavily processing really basic serum patches, just like generating, usually, what? It's been probably about a year since I've done that with the hi-hat stuff. But it's just about the only stuff that I've done has been very simple. Like one of the first things that the video does is kind of go into the, quote unquote science behind the sound engineering. And one of the core parts about engineering the cymbals with that method is creating like this feedback loop. And that becomes a big part of making them sound really realistic. And that's something I struggled with because like I was just kind of like I was just using wavetables and processing and lots of processing and transient shaping to try to get little things to kind of sound like cymbals. But definitely the feedback aspect seems to be super important. It adds like this truly next level realism aspect that I haven't heard anywhere else before. And I mean the idea of like being able to have let's say for example like a live drum kit in the form of like serum patches seems really sick because like that could be really fun to play an electronic drum kit with, or just a MIDI instrument with in general. Like having that kind of like level of realism with a MIDI instrument would be really, really cool. I mean, there's obviously like libraries you can use, and those are great. But the thing with the library is, of course, it's very limited. You can't really look under the hood and like easily change, the transients or the fundamentals. Like you could do some basic stuff, but you don't have really like the next level of control with sample libraries. So yeah, I'm definitely curious. I'm gonna look into it. I've also never like toms seem to be one that would be a lot easier as well. Like toms, hi-hats, obviously kicks and snares. Those are well covered, I think. Even like acoustic ones. That same YouTube channel I think covers some acoustic, sounding kick and snare tutorials that had some really interesting some really interesting sound design theory that I completely do not remember at all anymore. But I might do a little refresher on that. Yeah, fake hi-hats I don't think are particularly difficult to get working in some capacity. I think doing ones that creating hats that truly feel very authentically acoustic is still very difficult. You can get things that pass off as hi-hats by generating them synthetically, but like having those little tiny articulation changes, I mean, most of the time you can only get that in either real recordings or in sample libraries, which are obviously also just basically real recordings. So it's one of the reasons why I was so impressed with the video. Because it's like, man, I don't even know if stuff like that is taught in like production classes in like colleges and stuff. Like, I don't know. Felt like kind of like this, like kind of voodoo, black magic stuff that isn't really uncharted territory a little bit in synthesis. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe Maybe like the top dogs know how to engineer stuff like that from scratch. I don't know. What do I know? All right, hold on. I keep talking and not producing. Let's find some toms. This might be not quite the right sound, but I'm gonna give this one a go. It's also quite long. I think a snare roll would be really nice there. Let's grab just that first little bit from this sample. It's just really quiet. Let's see. Is it? Whatever. Let's just Control J this and show in browser. Throw this in here as well. I think just those little fills like that will add. I think like some more like ambiance, like little reverse reverb thingies maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of struggling with bringing that like final polish level to the drop. It's not sounding bad right now, but it's still not there yet. Oh yeah, we need to compactor this. Let's see. We want to use the main drum rack to compactor this. Maybe a little bit less. That sounds good. And for the post drop, I still don't know what to do. Like, I had started sketching the like intro drums here again. But I think there's too much momentum being lost there. I think like maybe let's see. Let me... I really love this vibe here, and I think maybe if I can try to just copy paste some of this into the post drop section, that could be cool. So let's get rid of these plucked chords there for now. Yeah, I really like that vibe. Wait, why didn't the chords change there? I think they should have. Yo, what's up, Alex? Wait, why did I not realize that that was your username in past streams? I don't know why I didn't realize that. Alex has been working on the album artwork for my 2026 album. So once all the singles and stuff come out and you guys see the the singles art and the album art, you'll have Senor Alex to thank for that. Long time no talk, right? Yeah, it's not like we had an hour-long call yesterday or anything. I think we've spent probably about 20 hours, maybe more, talking at this point. What do you think the estimate is at? I feel like it's probably about 20 hours. Okay, so I think for the second time that this build is happening, it might be cool, instead of having these more subdued plucks, what if we have some like bigger let's see, let's duplicate this patch. This project file is starting to I feel like it's starting to get pretty disorganized. Ooh, we could get jazzier with it here, maybe. Let me just remove a few elements that are kind of confusing me melodically a little bit here. There we go. Okay. I think something like that would be pretty cool. Maybe we tone it down a notch. It's a little, kind of a lot of playing there. Cool. Let's try to use that as maybe the foundation. And getting a little churchy up in here. Okay, I just gotta try this out because I don't know. Wait, are there organs in keyscapes? I've actually never checked. Organ. Okay, no organs. But maybe Omnisphere would be a good place to look for some organs. Speaking some Czech, is that what kind of languages are happening right now? That's fire, dude. Thank you. All right, let's see. Let's find some organ action in here. Organs. could be cool. Let's see. We'll see. It feels a little random, maybe, to have organs popping in there suddenly, but I feel like it could work as like a little additional chord layer. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I've really. I'm trying to think of when I've ever used organ in a previous song. I can't think of a single song. I must have used organ at some point. All right. Okay. Hold on. Let's go back to this section again briefly. Whoa. What is going on? Okay, so this one's holding the G minor chord, so let's do something similar here. No, it's gotta be higher. Oh, I see. Okay. And then this one. Does feel kind of churchy with like those harmonies. And you know what? I actually like those harms now. They sounded kind of funky to me yesterday, but I think I kind of EQ'd them a bit, and now they sound a bit better. I like the bass. Thank you. You're the only producer I know that doesn't use 4X. Well, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, honestly. My issue is that I don't find it particularly helpful in the sketching process of my workflow. It's not until the very end that I want to be seeing that all that information, like the stereo image and like the what is that correlation meter and all. I don't know. It's cool. The thing is, like, all of it looks cool, but like it also takes up space. And I just don't want to think about those things until I'm more in the final stages of like mixing and mastering. All right. Let me get some more of those fills from the intro as well. Where are those? Yeah. Whoops, that should not be there. See, okay, we need to bust out a kit here to help us ideate some stuff, some drum things. Man, I hate this new contact layout. I wish I could like revert it back to the OG. I feel like we just need gotta think a little bit as a drummer, put our drummer hat on here. There is tons of latency, so that's gonna be an issue, but whatever, let's just try this anyways for a brief moment. I think I know roughly what to do here. We're going to try to use this mostly as an outline. I don't think we'll actually use this drum kit. We might use some of it. Okay, that's like roughly the energy that I want for the second build. Yeah, now that I'm just hearing the hats without playing them, we can find better ones than that. I think that'll fit in here a bit better. I was going on a little hunt for some samples anyways the last couple of days, trying to use up my splice credits, Kind of forgot those existed. It is kind of crazy to me that when you cancel your subscription that they tell you that you don't keep your credits. It's kind of whack, in my opinion. A little bit whack. I feel like you should be able to just hold on to them like flyer miles, you know? Because, I mean, the money is already paid. Right? So, I don't know. Seems a little strange to me. Let's see. Hat. Let's just search hat and see what comes up. Yeah, like, hold on. These, I like these quite a bit more. See if there's an open hat in here somewhere. Gotta use them all up first, yeah. I don't know, I just think it's not a, it doesn't seem like a good system to me. I mean, the credit system still is, like, I think superior to the old school, like, purchasing sample packs, right? I think that's kind of a given. But okay, there's one right there. So let's get that in here. So it'd be I mean, it sounds okay. It doesn't sound great. Pretty sloppy. Definitely helps for those open hi-hats to be super consistent in their volume. I don't really know exactly how to do this next section, but Well, okay, so we do need the I think that snare build roll thing was definitely adding a lot of energy there. So let's try to find snare roll. I know. Yeah, we could totally use this one from the boys. It is 140, but I think. For some reason, it gets a little messed up there when I try to shorten the transients. Doesn't sound great like that. Or like that. Damn. We might just need to use, like, this first half only or something. I don't know. Let's try it like this. I'm not sure about this chord here. It's kind of cool to have something out of key, but I don't know if that's it. What's up, Ession? I don't know. Yo, Darius, thank you so much for gifting those subs. Much appreciated. Haywyre, you can definitely do something like Billboard. Ooh, I love me some Billboard. You know, he's a new alias. I didn't even know that. I wouldn't have known this was the same artist. But a buddy of mine, Zeros, he pointed out to me that he's got a new project. Well, it's not that new. It's, you know, he's been doing it for years now. But oh man, what is it called though? I'm gonna have to ask Zeros. Everybody, tag Zeros in the Haywyre Discord. Demand answers. I want Zeros to make a comeback in the Haywyre Discord. Oh yeah, Mont Duhamel. Nice. Super talented producer. I don't know why this is kind of giving me 80s vibes right now. does feel like the energy's there. Something. Let's go back a little bit and just try to vibe out for a little bit. See if that helps us decide what chords to use right before the drop. Kind of like that. Yeah. Still got to figure that pre-drop out as well. I don't know. Like, nothing I have done really has felt like the right pre-drop yet. That actually sounded okay. I like the frequency shifter on the voice.
Want to test it out with a question?
What the? Bro.
What can I help you with?
Alexa, stop. I didn't even say anything remotely close to that name. That's happened to me a lot recently. Did you guys hear that? The best pre-drop vocal. You know, playing with these chords though did make me think about, like, what if I did like a little I also just had this random idea for maybe a variation for the second drop is to change up some of the sound design a little bit. Like, what if we... Okay. What if... I'm trying to think. So let me mark this, I don't know what this is, like some kind of second drop type thing. And then this would be the like post-drop vibe. Post-drop, we're just making up song structure names. Okay, I do like the idea here of this second build having a little slightly different energy, but I think I need to, let me throw a multi-band dynamic thing on here because I think I need to tame this high end a little bit. Some of these hits are a little off as well. I want to quantize it completely, but... Sounds like The Scientist there for a brief moment by Coldplay. Coldplay is really good pop music. I don't really listen to it, but what's the lead singer's name? Oh, right. Chris Martin. No wonder I like his music. Now let's have it end right on the downbeat. Can probably auto filter this out. Let's throw one on here as well. Do the same thing there. What? What happened there? Oh, I guess I need the MIDI to... I think that works. We can refine it, of course, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with some of the progress on this track from the last couple of sessions. Let's I'm gonna delete this a little bit here so that I can more easily create renders of where the track's at right now. Let's go like this. Let's save this as Euphoria 18, and then let's move on to something else. Let's do something else. You know, it's interesting. I was thinking about something recently. Relating to I don't really know how to put it into the right words, but I remember years ago, maybe like 5 years ago or so, Skrillex, I think he had been a little on like a small hiatus, like he hadn't released in a while. I don't really think it had been that long. Maybe it wasn't quite 5 years. Maybe it was a little bit less than that. I don't quite remember, but I think he's been one of the most prolific producers in the EDM scene, like ever. I'd imagine he's released an incredible body of work. His catalog is crazy. But he said something that I thought was really interesting, and he was basically like apologizing to fans for like falling off. Like that was kind of the language, and I thought that what was kind of like a bit more beautiful about the rant he was going on. This was on Twitter, I'm pretty sure. I think he mentioned that he was having a hard time processing his mother's passing. And you know that kind of got in the way of his career in some ways. But I just think that's it's an interesting like aspect of the dynamic, the relationship you have with like the how your perception is tied to your business as an artist in terms of, again, I'm having a hard time like really putting the right words together here to string together the thought I'm trying to have here. But it's interesting because there's definitely there's probably a way to see some truth in what he was saying at the time. Like in my mind, I was reading that, I was like, dude, who could possibly think that you've fallen off? I think like you can lose relevance as an artist for sure, if you've reached like, let's say, some incredible peak, and in terms of popularity, right? Like sheer number of eyes on your project. And you know, if you struggle to then follow that up with other things that kind of reached that same point, then like their perception of you as an artist can change. And there's a little bit of a game to be played there for artists. And not everyone kind of subscribes to that because, like, at the end of the day, success comes in many different forms, right? Like, I think for me and for many artists, like the biggest form of success is just being able to, well, maybe just have the best relationship possible with music as a musician. And maybe that means, but it could also mean like, just making a living off of music. I think for me personally, that's a big thing. Like, I consider that a huge success, and I always wanted to achieve that, but and I'm humbled that I still get to like make a living off what I'm doing. But it's interesting because like I think that it's just an interesting concept to me, like the perception that goes into like there are these things you can't completely control about your image as an artist that really heavily influence your project. I don't really know exactly what I'm getting at, but I kind of feel like I'm having like a little bit of a similar, not a realization maybe that like, I could see how like the inconsistencies in my release schedule and quality could, have really impacted my perception for many people, not everyone, but like a lot of people. And it's interesting because like, at the end of the day, I don't really write music to specifically please as many people as possible. And that's kind of like that's a dead end road anyways. But I don't know. I was like listening to a lot of the album stuff and that I've been working on. I'm like, I do need to improve a lot of things in my relationship with music, and I think like it's an ongoing process, But I think like, yeah, hopefully this album process is gonna get me into a headspace and a place where I can have a better relationship with my music moving forward. But yeah, I mean, I just think about how much stuff I've written over the last 10 years that just has never been released. And at the end of the day, like, it's only going to get released if I get the music to a point where it feels good enough, And I know the feeling of getting something to that point. And, but it's tough because then, you don't necessarily want to be releasing tracks just for the sake of, hitting your quota or whatever. And that's not how I want to approach creating music. So it's funny because there are some artists that maybe take like a different approach with that, where you just stick to the release schedule no matter what, and you get those tracks out one after another, even if you're not happy with them. But one thing I've noticed is, I mean, maybe I went the opposite direction where I kind of was like, well, if I'm not making something that I'm excited about or I feel like is meeting this bar, then I'm not going to release it. And that kind of has backfired big time for me. Justice goes 5 to 10 years between releases. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't work for everyone. And yeah, every artist project is different, and every career is different. And yeah, I think that it's just an interesting topic. But yeah, I mean, most people who are saying stuff like that aren't doing much with their life. I feel like my instinct is to react to those kind of thoughts in a similar way. This idea of like falling off is just kind of hilarious to me in so many ways, because and I hate the idea of like, Skrillex in that, like, when he typed that tweet out, I hate the idea that he is judging himself and his career at that point in that way, right? And I think it's important to be kind to yourself and to be able to stand in your corner at times and be able to have those those self-love, self-encouraging uh, mechanisms to rely on and stuff. But John Hopkins, yeah, man, what a sick artist too. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, um, it's just an interesting uh, process, like the mind games and the way that public perception plays into the success of your career. Um, and you grow older too, and I think you realize that you saw things very differently. The things you thought you were doing or seeing or people were seeing in you and stuff take a very different meaning as you kind of age and mature. Um, and Yeah, so it's just interesting how your priorities change, and then those can obviously influence your career too. But I don't know what I'm rambling about right now. Um, it was just something I was trying to hash out, and I just wanted to throw it out there. But yeah, I just want to get to a place where I'm releasing more consistently, not because I want to, I don't know, like beef up my stream numbers or something like that, but just for the sake of, like, for myself, like for the sake of just putting it out there and like sharing what it is that I'm creating, because that's one of the best feelings is when people can connect with something you're excited about and have other people feel that energy too. That's a really special connection to have with people. So I don't want to take that for granted, even though I think I probably have a few too many times at this point, and that's not something to be proud of, And from that perspective, I can understand, like, being self-critical is much healthier, I think, from that kind of standpoint versus like, I don't know, trying to judge yourself through like the public perception game. That's just like a terrible measurement tool for self-worth. Especially today, man. I feel like some of the people that have massive followings, at least online, maybe not in terms of like the music industry, but God, some of the people that have big online followings are by many points of measurement just like not decent human beings. It's crazy how much things have changed over the years. Anyways, okay, what am I freaking doing, man? Just rambling about shit. So we got a new version of Euphoria going. Maybe we go back into Fade Away. I think we were working on that briefly the other day. Could be fun. I think the drop could use a lot of work. Why don't we jump into that? Fun fact, in 25, and listened to your music for 12 years. Whoa. That's like 11.9 too many years. No, I'm just playing. I appreciate it though. Thanks for listening to my creations. Where's Fade Away? There we go. Let's open this bad boy up. Let me just say your streams have been a huge impact on my whole music journey. I've been watching since the very first streams. That's since you were 14? Wow. Wait, Caden, were you 14 in, what was that, 2017? I think that's another thing that's kind of wild about being a full-time artist. And then if some of you are full-time as well, you could probably relate to this, but like there are just all these unseen impacts that you'll never know about, which is kind of crazy to me because, with what you were just telling me, Caden, like that's really fucking cool. And that's a great feeling to hear things like that. And it's just interesting in general. There's so many people we impact in our life. And sometimes most of the time, we never know the ways in which we influenced other people, right? I think about that sometimes with my parents where like, I think recently I've been thinking about my dad a little bit and like how much of an impact he had on me musically as a virtuosic kind of pianist himself, but he never went full-time with music or anything like that. He just loved it. And I think he also came from a different generation where it was frowned upon a bit more. And he came from a poorer family in some ways too, so it was kind of like they there was more pressure to commit to a career that would be more consistent, more reliable. And but man, I remember growing up hearing him play, and he was crazy talented. Um, and all the doors that he opened up for me, by like, yeah, just like instilling those influences in me. And yeah, it's just kind of crazy to think about all those things. All right.
I was hearing voices, wasn't sure if they're mine. I was seeing choices, wasn't sure if they're right. Always on my shoulder, whispering to my mind. Something looming over, a feeling I'll describe. Letting a sinking ship, taking me down with it, drowning me out, figure this out, time to get over this, taking a hold of me.
Okay, lots of good stuff going on. I think that there was a phase when I listened to I'm You like 15 times a day. That's awesome. Your jazz style has really influenced the way I approach chords and music. I really appreciate that. I mean, it's just an underutilized like genre. Maybe underutilized is kind of a weird way of putting it, but I mean, I remember when I was like getting into electronic music, and I really felt like, man, dude, there's already so much good music out there, but I didn't really feel like there's much. I wasn't hearing much in terms of things combining like elements of jazz, and I didn't lean into that heavily. But there were some songs where I kind of explored where that intersection might be with like jazz and EDM and stuff. I think like probably the most accessible version of that now is probably like house music, to be honest. There are a lot of you know, not like hardcore jazz, but like there's some basic elements of jazz incorporated in house music that's very popular and digestible in the EDM space. I don't know if there's any other genre that incorporates like certain aspects of jazz as effectively as house music, probably. But there's definitely more experimental stuff out there, like, you know, liquid drum and bass, or, you know, glitch hop, of course, and things like that. But it's a little bit tougher, I think, to like distill it in a very approachable, listenable way. So I'm thinking I might take this little riff out, mute it on the piano side, and like put it in here for a new instrument to kind of play that. Let's grab Serum. Also, completely random side note, I'm all over the place today, but it feels so good to be running again. Like I wish I had. I gotta like put some more fire under my ass. I'm trying to get in better shape, and I got like a little bit of a runner's high this morning. It's like just chugging water, and I got home from a run, and it's like, wow, I forgot what it felt like to be in good shape. It's crazy how many of your problems just like fade away when you take care of your body. It's like, oh right, yeah, this is how good I'm supposed to feel. Like shit, I'm just like shooting myself in the foot by like not doing not exercising more often. But that's another random thought for today. That Smooth Criminal remix was so mind-blowing to me back then. I don't know, I appreciate it. That was a big moment for my career. That was really what made me quit college back in the day. that's why I dropped out. Was like, I remember I was like, all the Monster Cat people were like stoked about it because we shot it in Vancouver at their studio, and it's like, oh shit, there's something here, there's something going on here. That was a really incredible time of my life too. It felt like I found my calling, especially that age too. I think I was like 21 maybe when that came out. Fuck, dude, I'm fucking old now. Just looking for some gentle sounds here to cycle through, but of course I just load up a dubstep bass sound. I feel old. I'm only 24. You'll get there.
Voices, wasn't sure if they're mine. I was
I don't know why, but like,
I was hearing voices, wasn't sure if they're mine. I was seeing choices, wasn't sure if they're right. Always on my shoulder, whispering to my mind. Something looming over, a feeling I'll describe.
what if we just started like that? That's kind of cool. Like a little more minimal. Let's see. Hold on.
I was hearing voices, wasn't sure if they're mine. I was seeing choices, wasn't sure if they're right. Always on my shoulder, whispering to my mind. Something looming over, a feeling I'll describe. Letting a sinking ship, taking me down with it, drowning me out, figure this out, time to get over this. Taking
That'd be cool. Let's just start it like that and then have the chords pop in halfway through.
letting a sinking ship, taking me down with it, drowning me out, figure this out, time to get over this. Taking a hold of me, tearing it out of me, never again know who I am.
Let's get rid of the guitar in the intro. I do like that riff. I need to get in a habit of like, whenever I delete something out of a song, I should just bounce it and render it into my sound design folder. I definitely like starting the song like this though. This is I like this. So let's mute this. Find the guitar. Word guitar. I think this is it. Missing Reflections. Man, the Dubsonic album is still my fave. That's crazy. That's an oldie. Yeah. That was a good time. I remember like I feel like there's some good tracks from back then, you know. I still think Mind Chamber is a pretty decent track. Aquatic Stimulation I feel like is pretty decent. Even if the production is rough, there's some tracks because obviously the EDM bubble was coming in hot. So I feel like there were some tracks where I tried to lean into some of those more aggressive sounds, and I feel like it didn't really work out for me. I think it's never really been like my forte to be in that space, but I'm just gonna render this real quick, and then I'm gonna delete it from this project. So let's put it in packs, current, audio, vocals, synth stems. Let's just write, I don't know, acoustic. Not really sure. 85 BPM guitar riff. Just render that super quick and get rid of it. All right.
I was hearing voices.
Yeah, let's get rid of the drums here.
I was hearing voices.
Let's get rid of the piano as well.
I was hearing voices. Wasn't sure if they're mine. I was hearing voices. Wasn't sure if they're mine. I was seeing choices. Wasn't sure if they're right. Always on my shoulder, whispering to my mind. Something looming over, a feeling of a scribe. Letting a sinking ship, taking me down with it, drowning me out, figure this out.
I think let's leave out drums for now and just see how it feels if we build it like this. Another thought I had was, what if we let's get like an octave slide up into that downbeat.
Feeling of a scribe.
MIDI, pitch bend. Yeah, let's go like this.
Letting a sinking ship, letting a sinking ship, taking me down with it.
Okay.
Letting a sinking ship, taking me down with it, drowning me out, figure this out, time to get over this, taking up.
What is going on with this thing?
Letting a sinking ship, taking me down with it, drowning me out, figure this out, time to get over this.
Where did I have a pitch monster in here? I think. Yeah, it looks like I.
Letting a sinking ship.
First pre-pitch monster. Oh, wait.
Letting a sinking ship, taking me down with it, drowning.
Interesting. One moment. I'm gonna get this thing going again. Pitch monster. I'm just gonna grab a quick preset here. Smooth. Set it to 0. MIDI, polyphonic. And let's send this to, let's see, it should be around track 12. Verse pre-chorus. Yeah, this one. Pitch monster specifically. So let's see if this works.
Letting a sinking ship, taking me down with it, drowning me out, figure this out, time to get over this.
Interesting. That doesn't seem to be working for some reason. I wonder why. Normally this would already be working. Huh. I always send it to 1. Pitchmaster 1. So I'm a little confused on why this wouldn't be working. I mean, I don't normally chain it, so maybe that's why. Let's try this maybe. Oh my god, wait, I'm an idiot. I just had it. Okay, alright, we're good. I have found the error in my ways. Yeah, I think we're good now.
Drowning me out, figure this out. Time to get over this. Letting a sinking ship taking me down with it. Drowning me out, figure this out. Time to get over this. Letting a sinking ship taking me down with it. Drowning me out, figure this out. Time to get over this. Letting a sinking ship taking me down with it. Drowning me out, figure this out. Time to get over this. Letting a sinking ship taking me down with it. Drowning me out, figure this out.
I kind of like the low fifths.
I was hearing voices, wasn't sure if they're mine. I was seeing choices, wasn't sure if they're right. Always on my shoulder, whispering to my mind. Something looming over, a feeling I'll describe. Letting a sinking ship taking me down with it. Drowning me out, figure this out. Time to get over this. Taking a hold of me, tearing it out of me. Never again know who I am. Things that I can't change. So even if I fade away, it won't bother me, 'cause I have come to terms with things I could change. Things that I can't change. So even if I fade away, it won't bother me, 'cause I have come to terms. I have come to terms. I have come to terms. Things that I can't change.
Let me change a couple of things here for the second chorus. Second chorus, where's the drop starts here, I think. Just gonna add some locators. So that means this should be the build here. Build. Let's see. Yeah, I think I want to change the hi-hat pattern to be just like a little bit more normal groove.
So even if I fade away, it won't bother me, 'cause I have come to terms with things I can change. Things that I can't change. So even if I fade away, it won't bother me, 'cause I have come to terms with things I can change. Things that I can't change.
I think I'm actually gonna get rid of this.
So even if I fade away, it won't bother me, 'cause I have come to terms with.
I am back. He is back. This track feels different emotionally after the whole Skrillex conversation about falling off. Yeah, I think I might end the album on this track. I do think that it's I don't know if any of y'all do death meditation or, things like that on occasion. But, you know, I actually I would consider myself an advocate of that kind of stuff. It's a bit morbid, but, life is morbid, and it just helps to have reminders of, like, I think death meditation really just it's kind of like the same as gratitude meditation in my mind, because it's like, you gotta, appreciating things means acknowledging what you have and how long you have it for, so it's kind of connected and to death in that way, for me at least. So I find they're very similar. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of related to that kind of stuff.
So even if I fade away, it won't bother me, 'cause I come to terms with things I can change. So even if I fade away, it won't bother me.
Whoops.
I've come to terms with things I can change. Things I can change. Things I could change. I was hearing voices, wasn't sure if they're mine. I was seeing choices, wasn't sure if they're right. Always on my shoulder, whispering to my mind. Something looming over, a feeling I'll describe. Letting a sinking ship, taking me down with it, drowning me out, figure this out, time to get over this, taking a hold of me, tearing it out of me, never again know who I am.
Yeah, there we go. I think I'm gonna add these chords.
Letting a sinking ship, taking me down with it, drowning me out, figure this out, time to get over this, taking a hold of me.
Yo, by the way, this is another very random topic, but I was doing a little bit more research into Pokemon games, because I really loved playing that the unopened emu, the old school version of Pokemon Red, and I started researching where other Pokemon games are being released, like current ones, and it got me kind of like looking into the Switch. Any of y'all use the Nintendo Switch, or have one for that matter? I gotta hear what the consensus is on. I mean, I know pretty much everyone that I feel like has a Switch likes it. So I'm testing the waters here. Let's see if anyone has anything to share about the Switches. Switch is decent, but haven't bothered in years. So you have the old school one then. I think they came out with the Switch 2. I don't know if there's a big difference there, but I like that you can use it as a handheld device, but then also hook it up to your to monitors and game that way. And also the fact that it detaches the extra controllers is pretty nice. My fiance and I have been talking about gaming with each other, but we never, I don't know, just haven't had a console really. So yeah, not much difference beyond processing. Oh, okay. I suggested 3 Haywyre songs to my fiance as we're planning songs for our wedding. He gave the okay on Contagious. Let's go. Love it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing some research, but I might become a Switch gamer. I don't know.
I was hearing voices, wasn't sure if they're mine. I was seeing choices, wasn't sure if they're right. Always on my shoulder, whispering to my mind. Something looming over, a feeling I'll describe. Letting a sinking ship, taking me down with it, drowning me out, figure this out, time to get over this.
I think maybe we add some gentle felt piano in the intro here.
I was hearing voices, wasn't sure if they're mine. I was seeing choices, wasn't sure if they're right. Always on my shoulder, whispering to my mind. Something looming over, a feeling I'll describe. Letting a sinking ship, taking me down with it, drowning me out, figure this out, time to get over this. Taking
I like that. I'm just gonna throw it in the intro there.
I was hearing voices, wasn't sure if they're mine. I was seeing choices, wasn't sure if they're right. Always on my shoulder, whispering to my mind. Something looming over, a feeling I'll describe. Letting a sinking ship, taking me down with it, drowning me out, figure this out, time to get over this. Taking a hold of me, tearing it out of me, never again know who I am, things that I can't change.
Yeah, I definitely want there to be like a little bit of a vibe switch up here. Or maybe not a vibe switch, but like some kind of rhythmic thing needs to kind of pop in here, I think. What about me? 'Cause I have come to terms. Let's see. I don't know if we have something in here right now. Let's grab that chord pluck patch that we've been loving lately. What is it? Where is that at? Places. Yeah, there we go.
Never again know who I am, things that I can't change. So we've
Wait.
things that I can't change. So even if I fade away, it won't bother me, 'cause I have come to terms. Things that I can't change. So even if I fade away, it won't bother me, 'cause I have come to terms with things I could change. Things that I can't change. So even if I fade away, it won't bother me, 'cause I have come to terms. I have come to terms. I have come to terms that I can't change.
I think some kind of like plucked stuff there would be nice. Let's see. Let's throw it to sidechain.
Things that I can't change. So even if I fade away, it won't bother me, 'cause I have come to terms with things I could change. Things that I can't change. So even if I fade away, it won't bother me, 'cause I have come to terms. I have come to terms. I have come to terms that I can't
fun to just jam the synth in some of those areas, get some other ideas, but let me get these build chords down first.
Things that I can't change, so even if I fade away, it won't bother me, 'cause I have come to terms.
Actually, I think there's a different rhythm.
Things that I can't change, so even if I fade away, it won't bother me, 'cause I.
Let me try that one more time.
Things that I can't change, so even if I fade away, it won't bother me, 'cause I have come to terms with things I can change. Things that I can't change, so even if I fade away, it won't bother me, 'cause I have come to terms. I have come to terms. I have come to terms that I can't change.
Cool. Why don't we just like browse around some other patches for fun, see if anything comes up. Ooh. I also just had this random thought before I forget. I don't know if I installed XO on here now that I think about it. Did I? XLN audio? I did. Wait. Okay, let me save real quick just in case this causes some issues. I think it's about to scan all of my samples. You want to add splice samples. Let's see. User folder. Wait, whoa. What? Settings. No, that's not right. I think these are all native. Drop folders. Add browse. Yeah, okay, here we go. Sample packs. Why don't I just throw everything from Splice in here and see what happens? These folders that need to be scanned and refreshed. How do I... Oh yeah, scan. There we go. Maybe I should have done this off stream. This looks like it could take a little bit. Yeah, never mind. I'm not gonna do this right now. I'll do this off stream. So for now, let's just keep browsing around. Kind of a cool little panic note. Some nice ambience in this one. Could be nice in the intro.
I was hearing voices, wasn't sure if they're mine. I was seeing choices, wasn't sure if they're right. Always on my shoulder, whispering to my mind.
I wish I could change the chords while during the swell, but actually this patch I feel like I could potentially use. Let me try something out here. I think that B section of the drop, this could be kind of cool.
So even if I fade away, it won't bother me, 'cause I have come to terms with things I can change. Things that I can change. So even if I fade away, it won't bother me, 'cause I have come to terms.
Just kind of experimenting with this patch a little bit. I definitely like it in the B section, so I'm gonna add it there. All right. Cool, let's keep browsing. That is so sick. Thank you. Appreciate it, Matisse. Let's find some other sounds to throw in here. Interesting. Splice. Kind of a goofy sound. Definitely not really finding much else to throw in here. Well,
I was hearing voices, wasn't sure. I was hearing voices.
I feel like this is maybe enough fade away for the time being. We'll get a little bit more clarity on the intro, a little more direction here. So let's save this, fade away. Just call it fade away 13. And no need to render this right now. Let's go back to the album playlist and see what else we could work on. Could maybe we're getting close to the end of the stream. Can maybe also just like sketch something new, just to take some of the pressure off from album stuff. I don't actually mind that idea. Hold on. Let's maybe there's some more random loops, drum loops that I can bust out. Now, this was a lot of fun the other day. Just playing some jazz. Fortunately, my finger is still somehow injured. I don't know how that happened, but still have that cut from Tuesday. I'm jamming. Also, what is this? What's going on with Ableton here? Forced quit. Let's see what we got. I don't think I played on this one yet. Let's try this out. 101. It's a really nice groove. See what happens if we shorten the transients a little bit. It's nice. See if we can find any other ones to jam on. That was nice. Let's just type in drum. See what kind of stuff comes up. There's way too many folders to know exactly what's in which one at this point. I'm sure any of you producers kind of run into the same issue. That's why I started getting into like the tag stuff, because that's actually extremely helpful. Let's see. Let me see what happens if I just select drum loop. Whoa. Ooh, this one's kind of nice. Also around 100 BPM. Kind of a cool little groove. Ooh. This one's cool too. This one's around 100 as well. Ooh, this one's fire. Let's just make some random funky groove out of this. I wonder what happens if you type in... Let's just type in funk, see what comes up. An atmosphere. Yikes, I don't like any of these. Alright, maybe that was not the move. Wonder where I could find some... I think a trillion could be a good place to start. That's kind of cool. Hold on. Let's throw a limiter on the master. I see it's kind of redlining a bit. I am kind of curious. Maybe there's a wah effect inside of Infiltrator that could be kind of cool on this. Let's turn it down a tad. Let me look at the filter section. It normally has our guitar. They have some kind of wah presets that are kind of nice sometimes, but there we go. Eh. I want to try to find another like 100 BPM I don't know what these samples are. I'm just throwing random stuff in here. I think it helps sometimes and at the beginning and end of sessions to just make something random. Dump. Dump. Dun dun dun. Bump bump. Okay, maybe not that after all. I was gonna look for like a really straightforward, simple little like disco 100 BPM thing. Good old Oliver coming to the rescue. Let's give this a shot. Kind of curious if maybe Keyscapes has anything funky to throw in here. Not really feeling this, to be honest, but I might be able to save the groove with he's kind of electric piano. That's nice. It's a little harsh at times. I'm gonna try to. I changed my mind. I think I'm gonna try to change this into my own groove. And just find a random snare, some kind of funk snare. No. Nope. Actually, this one, maybe. Let me test this out. Nah. Not crazy about this one either. Let's keep looking. Okay, I actually don't mind that snare. Okay, so you got a little bit of a loop going here. Let's extend this, kind of double the length. We got a little bit of a groove going here. All right. Kind of want to test something else out here. I wonder if we can bring this. Let's make another section here that's a little bit more kind of like a low pass version of this same groove. I like the idea of these both being twice as long, and then we can kind of alternate between them. Just copy this over here. I like this groove. Let's wish there was like some other sound that I felt was really working with this. Maybe we could just try to throw some random vocals in here. Just tune it. So there's an F minor. Or A flat major. All right, we can maybe use some of this. All right, what's the correct? Trying to think. I don't really sing harmonies much, so this might take a second for me to figure out how to do. Something like that. Okay, what would be another harmony? Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, Hold on, I gotta bust out the piano for this. Wait, which harmony? Okay. All right, this is far from perfect, but I think we can at least just sketch with this, have some fun with it. Just trying to figure out some really basic harmonies here. Let's pan one of these left, one of them right. And... Ooh, we should sidechain this as well. Please save.
PLS, save this even if it's just a sketch journal. It's very groovy.
Thank you. I know you like the funky stuff, Art Nerd. I forgot I engineered that snare a while ago. I was trying to like create something that felt a little bit more like a more tame snare. Let's see. 0226. 2026. Getting funky. Da, 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 da. Think about maybe I throw in. I'm gonna try to make a quick serum patch here. This sound for a moment. Let's get a little bit of a comb action on this bad boy. kind of a fun little riff too. Actually, wait, I think I already have a sketch that's kind of like. Oh yeah, that's right. I do have a song that's kind of like that already. It's a bit faster. I'm just gonna create some harmonies with this synth line. Kind of like what I did in the original sketch with this like idea. It's kind of cool. Giving me some like synth rat-a-tat vibes instead of like guitar harmonies. It's like little synth, funky synth harms. Let's do another harmony and pan this one left. I enjoyed doing that in that older sketch. Woo! That's fun. Let's turn it down and pan this one right. The harmonies are not right, but the main hits sound kind of cool. I can't quite figure out what the harms are. Whatever. Some of it sounds good. Not that part. Okay, well, anyways, that was kind of a random little tangent. But it feels good to just sketch random things sometimes. I'm still gonna save this, but might wrap it here for today, y'all. Thanks for tuning in, watching me just doodle and make random stuff. But I think this might be it for today, and I'll be back tomorrow for Feedback Friday. So if you guys got some music you want to show me, I'll be happy to listen to it and tell you what I think. And yeah. Hey, what's up, Everyday Swiss? Thanks for stopping by briefly. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks again. Peace.